Hi, I'm Ben Rowe from Bettrends and I'm joined by Paul Ferguson. His excellent Jumpers to Follow the book has just been released. Paul, just to give us a bit of history about the book, how it started.
It was something I always wanted to get into, writing a Horses to Follow book. Once I started journalism, started off with Racing Ahead magazine and started writing for Haydock Park Race Card. From there, took it on, just give it a go really.
Yeah.
Tried to get it out there. The first year was a bit of a struggle, but we've reached the 10th year now and I think it's going from strength to strength.
And for this year you've been enjoying forces with Weatherby's. Can you just talk about that for us?
Yeah, came a bit out the blue to be honest. Mr Carter, commercial director, gave me a call and within a matter of days almost the ball was rolling. It was a privilege for myself to be honest, for a company like Weatherby's to get in touch and say that they wanted to be involved with Jumpers to Follow. I took it as a huge compliment and once they approached me, pretty much it was a no-brainer and it was always going to happen, and I'm delighted with the end product.
Yeah, the new design for this year is colour for the first time as well. It looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah, first time colour. I think regular readers think they'll notice a huge difference. Obviously, the 40 leading prospects, 20 of them, we split them up now. Ones that maybe readers will know a little bit more about than 20 bumper graduates, horses, the slightly darker names that are coming out through the bumper ranks. There's photos of the more prominent 20s, shall we say, and then obviously the jockeys, silks, things like that in there. I think it just makes it more well, certainly it looks more appealing to me anyway. Yeah.
So just for the viewers at home, some people, you've got a loyal following, but there's going to be people buying it for the first time. What can they expect, and what goes into your thinking when you're putting these horses to follow in, especially your leading prospects?
Certainly, the predominant section of the book is the 40 leading prospects, which hopefully they will prove profitable to follow throughout the season. Again, when I'm putting them together, we spoke off earlier, trying to find horses that won't meet, that aren't in the same division maybe, not going to keep coming banging heads together. Obviously that's not ideal. Hopefully a couple of them will turn up at the Cheltenham Festival and might go head to head, things like that. But it's a case of that, obviously trying to find maybe a couple from smaller yards as well. Certainly a couple of handicappers in there. We need, obviously they will hopefully boost the level stakes profit. There's plenty of other stuff in there. Jockeys have contributed, Nick Schofield, Jamie Codd, who's champion point-to-point rider in Ireland, so his input's quite invaluable really into the point-to-pointers in the book. Jay Mang and Harry Skelton, who was keen to get on board this year. His brother Dan trains 6 of the leading prospects, so obviously Harry's going to be riding them, and the two of them got the first century last year, the first Cheltenham Festival winner. I think they're going from strength to strength, so he was a great acquisition. Yeah,
and obviously it's been, for the book to get to its 10th year, you've had some great successes in the past. Can you just remind us a few of your stars that you've unearthed at an early age?
Yeah, big names like Long Runner Mastermind featured in the book when he was still trained in France before coming over. Sprinter Sacre was in there after winning his 2 bumpers. Again, at that time Henderson had a nice team bumper, horses like Finian's Rainbow and Oscar Whiskey. Horses like that have come through. It's just, and again Forheen, he was in there after his sole bumper. Altior, as you see, he's on the front cover again this year. He featured 2 years ago as a leading prospect. After winning a market raising bumper in the May. He didn't quite deliver in bumpers that year, but he obviously shot to prominence last year as a novice hurdler, and hopefully he'll either go down the champion hurdle route, or I'm more hopeful he'll probably head over fences and he could be Arkle bound.
And obviously this year, in the book just gone, you had a 1-2 in the Neptune.
Yeah, that was
the wides, both the 2 wides.
Yeah, the back in there again as well. Yanworth and York Hill. Both did a little wrong really in the year, and I think they'll go to separate ways this year. I think Yanworth will stay over hurdles and possibly step up in trip. I think there's races to be won with him at various distances, to be honest. I think the fact that he handles heavy ground, you think of races even like 2-mile races such as the Haydock Park Champion Hurdle Trial, things like that, I don't think that'll be an inconvenience to him, but I think he might end up in the World Hurdle. York Hill, despite showing wayward tendencies after Cheltenham, he done a lot wrong and still won at Aintree. Then he went, I think he was just over the top. I just put a line completely through Punchestown. Given the hard race he gave himself at Aintree, I was surprised he turned up at Punchestown. But I think he's just got the most natural ability. I think he can go right to the top over fences. I think he's got the pace to win over 2 or go 2.5. Obviously, the conundrum with Willie Mullins horses, leading right up to the festival itself, which race will he actually go for? I think that'll be all the way throughout the season, especially because he's got Min in there as well. But I think York Hill could go right to the top as a chaser.
Okay, so there's a quick taster of what you can expect from this year's book for all you big jump racing fans. The book is out now. You can check Paul's Twitter account for ways to order, but you can also go straight to bettrendshop.co.uk and order your copy. It's £9.95 plus postage and packaging.